This is Noel Tate, one half of the Velvet Drapes from Trapped in a World, the Howard the Duck podcast, and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend D.G. Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Lilith Hellfire, and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics Summer of '69.
The recording has started. In a world of capes and lunatics, gods and monsters, there are threats that arise. Threats too large for any one hero to face. In those moments, a team will arise to avenge us all. This is Avengers Declassified. I'm your host, Charlie, the Professor Esser, and with me, as always, is the blue-eyed bomber of the Burg of Pits,
Phil Podcast Perich.
Welcome back, Philip.
Hello.
To another episode of Capes and Lunatics. Avengers Declassified. Summer of '69. God, there's a lot of, colons in our title this week.
Hey-o.
But hey, kids, it's summer of '69, which means we are reviewing a lot of great stuff from 1969, specifically the Mighty Thor.
Oh, yeah.
And quite frankly, if you did '69, you might be Mighty Thor, too. He's Mighty Thor, that's for sure. So, here we are with the Mighty Thor, number 164 through 167, in which we dispatch of Pluto, face him, and then deal with our own hubris.
I love that first page of 164. Sif is literally has the hand on her forehead, like, oh,
yeah.
The vapors.
Honestly, I'm going to say they done Sith 30. They done Sith 30 in this, but here's my thing. We got Sith back in Thor 4. We're leading into Guardians of the Galaxy, where maybe a little fella named him is going to show up. And so I would love to see the story where a modern day Sith punches him in the nose with her destroyer robot.
Yes.
Guru arm. It's like, no, and that's what's delightful about this is how much let's start with Pluto's story, because maybe I read it wrong, but is it basically just that Zeus says, "Stop it, Pluto," and thwacks him? I mean, is that the crux of it? Am I mistaken in that?
Pretty much. I think it's basically like, Zeus is on par with Odin, so he comes down and it's like, no, don't you dare. Yeah,
just stop it. Stop it, bro. Not cool.
I mean,
trust a bro to move their furniture.
Thor, Sif, and Balder are fighting those mutants. They're fighting Pluto, but yeah, and then Zeus shows up and kind of gives them the,
And they're holding their own. So let's be clear. They clearly make it clear that Thor and Sif and Balder alone could face off against such threats. They face and they defeat and they do well, and that's a good thing.
It just, the power level, because even Sif in her Asgardian way says, I hope we never have to tangle with that guy.
And, and of course, every Pluto fanboy out there right now who's a fan of Greek and Roman myth, it's like they're doing Pluto dirty here, because he's actually a real nice guy in the myth. It's unfortunate that Disney, yes, Disney, and Marvel, now conjoined at the hip, and many others have made Pluto into the bad guy, just because he rules over the realm of the dead. Which, of course, is funny, because it's like, why is that a bad realm to rule? I mean, literally, everyone eventually comes to your realm, and you get to be ruler over all of them. It's like, why is this a bad job? Yes, there's the administrative, I guess I have to punish the wicked and reward the good and figure out something for all the people that are way in between to do. But still, that seems to be far more entertaining of a job than sitting on Olympus just eating grapes and having orgies. Like some gods we've recently seen.
Listen to the last episode.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, go eat some Slovakia and call it a day, British Zeus. Honestly, I'm surprised that's not a bigger deal in the world right now. But I'm still surprised that people aren't mad about Blue Korg. It's like, how are you not mad about Blue Korg? And we're going to do, like, little,
because unfortunately,
Fat Greek wedding Zeus? I don't know.
I mean, the Korg thing, unfortunately, I think most of the audience, more of the audience than not, probably doesn't read comics, so they're not familiar with Korg from the comics.
They didn't even make Zeus a redhead in the movie.
I know. What do you want?
That's the thing.
He wouldn't wear the wig?
I'm just saying, classic Zeus. He's a redhead. He's a ginger. Lilith would have been all over that, And here we are with our little dumpy, graying brunette Zeus. It's like, that's why no one respects you, Zeus, because you let yourself go. When you were a big, fancy redhead, people would have respected you. Now you got to ask your kid to go and be fancy for you.
Even the gods, if they just sit around and do nothing, they get heavy. Come on, they get out of shape.
Oh yeah, I understand it. And not to get back into the last show, but I really think that's really the point of Thor: Love and Thunder, is that Thor getting his body back, but then just retreating into that as his new vice. It's like it's just as bad for him spiritually, whether he's wallowing in pleasure like the gods of omnipotent city, or just being biff and buff and stabbing things. It's all just an escape. It's not really dealing with problems. But that is not the Thor we're dealing with today, Philip. Today, we deal with a Thor that is somehow both better and worse. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this Thor. Because, yes, in our first issue, it is, we will fight and we will fight and we will fight and fight and fight. And then eventually Mercury shows up on Olympus as, Zeus, here's something you might want to know. It looks like Pluto's trying to invade the world again. And it's just like, oh, bother. I was about to have an orgy. I don't know. Guess I gotta deal with my little brother.
I mean, it's his responsibility, but I'm like, if Zeus could take him out, couldn't Odin have showed up and be like, get thee gone?
Well, but that's to be fair, you don't want to get involved in a brother dispute. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, why you gotta punch my brother, Odin?
Yeah, true.
Don't punch my brother. I can punch my brother. You can't punch my brother. And then you get a war of the gods. So Odin's smart.
Get a god bar fight. He punched my son.
brother.
Well, no, I'm saying Odin would be like, well, your brother punched my son. So
like, what, your son can't take a punch? Is that what you're saying? It's like, oh, your little delicate Thor can't get a punch from a Pluto god of the universe.
And before that, he started with his girlfriend.
Yeah, well, everyone's starting with Sif, which is why, to me, the MCU exploring that idea in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, right? Yeah, 3.
Yeah, I think that's where Adam Warlock's showing up, because they've cast Adam Warlock, so he's showing up somewhere. Yeah.
And we got Sif back, and the idea of, BA warrior Lady Sif, who we have seen is out exploring the galaxy fighting stuff.
Yes.
Picking fights. That's why she wasn't in the other movies, because she's looking for a fight. Picked on Gore the God Butcher. Still didn't die.
Oh, no.
Which is actually kind of...
If Sif shows up in Guardians 3, Rocket's going to give her the Winter Soldier treatment. How much do you want for that arm?
Yeah. And she's basically, this is Nidavelarian Uru. It will melt your brain. Little rabbit.
Yeah, but how much?
Yeah, but how much? Yeah. I'm not going to wear it. I'm just want to take it apart and put it back together, Yeah, I am really looking forward to whatever Sif's Asgardian arm is. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be awesome, and I'm really excited about it. But getting back to the story at hand. So, apparently him comes back, and apparently this is not him's first appearance. Apparently he
showed up.
Did stuff in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, he first showed up in Fantastic Four, Yeah,
so he was in Fantastic Four. He's back here, and I love the little... You know what's funny about it is I'm not even sure that's Uatu. You know?
Oh, is that, what's his face? Aaron the Rogue Watcher?
It's just a random watcher who's out driving his Watcher-mobile. It's like, yeah, I like to study these rocks. That's fun. It's like, oh, no.
Hey, at least Stan gives us an explanation. Modern comics, they'd be like, oh, yeah, he's back on Earth. He must have found his way back to Earth. But Stan gives us the explanation. It's like, nope.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, that's what you got to appreciate about Stan. Stan's like, no, you know what? People want to know. That, this is, there's a lot of writers, who worry about how does Superman shave. And Stan, he anticipated, you know what my readers want to know? How did he get back to Earth after the last time we saw him? And it's like we could do a whole storyline where he falls back to Earth or this or that. But you know what? It'll be easier just to break this story up. And you know what? Here's what I'm going to tell you. I will wager there was at some point another story in another book somewhere where that satellite comes back to Earth. They're like, what is this strange cocoon? I don't know. Send it to that nuclear research lab. Oh, the one in New Mexico where no one's around. No, send it to the one in the middle of Manhattan.
Well, yeah, because
that's where we sell alien. That's where we send alien technology.
Yeah, because the Watcher puts that cocoon in the U.S. Space Laboratory satellite that just happens to be floating by with his little tuning fork.
As you do.
With his little Kirby tuning fork.
That's how you move things in space, Phil. Did you not know that? I thought that was common knowledge.
Oh, yeah, we learned that in science, yeah.
So, he wakes up and he's like, I must have a mate, which is like, and here, like...
Doesn't ask, just grab Sif, I know, but
this is the difference between, like in a modern story, someone would say, like, dude, chill. Okay, first off, if you want a mate, you don't just say, you're a female, right? Can I put my object in you? That's not how it works among sentient beings, generally speaking. There are exceptions to every rule, but...
And again, the whole Kirk thing, it's like, how do we know everything lines up?
Well, I mean, not for another friend, as I've said many times before, we don't know what Superman's genitals look like. It is a presumption. It is a presumption that he is even male. I
mean, he had a kid. It has to be something close.
Oh, I'm sure he's got something.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, yeah. Now we can say that.
Yeah.
Now that it's obvious. But when you started off, it's like, oh, alien landed on Earth, is vaguely humanoid in shape, has male secondary sex characteristics, we assume. But really, all he has is like a lack of engorged breasts, which in truth, most species don't have. Although one could argue he actually might have engorged breasts by Kryptonian standards. Got the big old pecs there. So.
I gotcha.
My knockers are fully frosted.
Yes, well, you got to keep them frosted. That's how you stay ready for the fight. That's all I'm saying.
And then just him grabbing Sif, that's not bad enough. The minute he does that, then Thor's like, I'm a warrior madness. You grab my woman.
Okay, I think it takes a few more episodes to get him to.
By the end of the second one, man, he is all bizarre.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He goes into his berserker rage, and apparently warrior madness is the one unforgivable sin.
C-block.
Again, this is one of these things where, in modern storytelling, this is where, like, oh, Mjolnir is not responding to me because I am now unworthy. Mjolnir's like, nah, I'm cool, man. Warrior madness. You never forget your first.
Hey, maybe it's like technicality. He is trying to save Sif, so,
But he still has to do his thing. Has to go find Galactus. Although I do love
we'll get to that. Oh, yeah.
The whole... So for those who haven't read, There's a whole B plot going over several issues. I do love... This is the thing about this. I can imagine if I was a reader at the time, and I had been reading Mighty Thor since before the summer of '69, and I would be like, oh man, they're like just seeding all this stuff with Carnilla and Baldar and this and that and the other. And there's a part of me that is going to be looking at this and going, you know what, man, this is a very long, beautiful arc paying off. I mean, it pays off stupidly at the end, to be fair, but that's because I am an older, more wiser person. They, much like Ms. Marvel right now, I'm not the specific demographic they were writing for.
Yeah, no, that seems to be a theme of all the summer of '69, Marvel and DC. It seems like they, in their minds at least, they were thinking, we're writing for mostly children here.
Well, I mean, not even just children. Because here's what I'm going to tell you, man. When I was 21, I would be like, yeah, man, this is a really great story,
Yeah.
They were writing to 20-year-olds, 13 to 21-year-olds.
Yeah, he took your woman, punch him in the face.
Well, but that's the thing. And again, that's what I say. It's like, in a modern story nowadays, there would be a whole moment of...
Oh, yeah, that'd be more dialogue, yeah. Yeah.
And that's the thing. It would make him even more of a villain if he doesn't want to reason.
Yeah.
And again, it's just this weirdness that, well, you're a female. I think I could, put my doodle whacker in you and it not break you since I am an omnipotent god.
I was going to say, she is an Asgardian, so...
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could take it, but it's like, okay, what if, you want to go back to Asgard, meet a couple other girls?
I mean, I think that's programmed into them, because even like when her shows up, I mean, again, she shows, I don't know, in the early years, but like years later, like she shows up in Quasar and she's looking for a mate. I mean, she's going to everyone. She's going to like Wonder Man. She's going to Hercules. I mean, so I think that's the scientists who create them kind of pre-program that into them. Like, oh yeah, you got a mate, dude, so.
Yeah. Well, that's an odd choice for them to make. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, and what happens is what happens the last time. It's like, him gets too badly damaged in the fight, and he puts his cocoon on, and he goes to fly off. Which is fair enough. It's a good superpower to have. I don't know where we're going to go with it as far as this story. I know where he's going to wind up eventually. I was hoping someone was going... you see, that's the thing. That's where, if this had been a more talky story, you could have gotten to this idea. It's like, why do you call yourself him? You are something new, some own being. You should name yourself. You should have something more than just your pronoun. You don't go, well, you are certainly... And especially since we had the witchy character in this, you could have even woven it all together with like, oh... you are a warlock, you are of the weird and the strange and the unknown. So that you shall be that. You shall be the first of the men warlocks, and we shall call you Adam.
But yeah, I mean, but it's kind of in character, because even like years later when he gets the cape and everything, I've always thought he's been like very arrogant and egotistical Adam Warlock. So it kind of fits. It's like, oh hey, you want to be with me, right?
I mean, and given the modern understanding of these characters, you basically get the idea that they're all in some way a descendant of Ultron. When you think about our recent run with in Iron Man with what's his name, Korvac.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all this idea of, oh well, we are the perfect beings, and we are the future, and we're going to do this and that and the other. And it's like, but are you though? Really? Are you? It's like, you seem pretty lame. You seem like you've got. You seem like you can blow up real good and hide real good, but it doesn't seem like you can actually do something to better the universe.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, after this he goes the Marvel Premiere 1 and 2, and then he gets his own book, Warlock 1 and 2, and then Incredible Hulk 158.
I think he does better as a character after he meets Pip.
Yeah.
I think Pip's a very grounding force for him. because he's just like, let's get down to the big brass tacks, man.
Well, I mean, because
he made of brass, but what does that mean?
And you give him a mission too. I mean, between him and Mar-Vell, they're like, for the longest time, like the two big enemies for Thanos. So
yeah, oh, Thanos.
He needs a purpose besides, oh hey, I need a woman.
Yeah, well, I mean, and to be fair, if your purpose is to need a woman, that's a very shallow purpose, because once you have a woman, now what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, it's great to have a woman, it's great to have kids, but it's like, that's a whole lot of things to do and to deal with. And to just say, oh, I need one, for what? Like, what is my larger purpose? And that's the thing. It's like, okay, you want to have a female. You want to have a female for procreation. So explain to me why you are a good provider for our alleged potential children. Explain to me why this is a beneficial situation, both for you and for me, and the offspring we will certainly create. But, Adam Warlock, him, he's just like, no, I just want to bump on the schmeckle. And that's where you fall apart as a character. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, he was sending out the signals, man. He's just wearing trunks and everything.
Yeah.
He's all Ben Grimm in it, Yeah,
well, Hey, Ben Grimm respected ladies.
Exactly.
He put it all on display, but he wouldn't force it on you. You had to be into it. Of which Alicia Masters was. It's like, ooh, you feel like rocks. I like rocks.
It's like you said, yeah. Adam
Moving right along.
He spins that cocoon again and gets away, and then Thor and the others have to go back to Asgard, and then Odin's like, "Oh, you must be punished. What you had the Warriors' madness. Does not matter. You're my son."
And this is such a cop out by Odin. Because he was like, well, and so like, there's two cop outs in this. One is, oh, Beldar had a stroke because the voodoo doll.
Oh, yeah.
But no one can be as skilled except for that Don Blake guy. Ever since that Stephen Strange guy, got out of the business.
And I love how they keep Don Blake employed, even though they're like, man, we go months without seeing this guy at a time.
Well, because he's paid by the hour. So if he doesn't punch in, there's no point in keeping him. I mean, because benefits back in the 60s, benefits were cheap back then.
I guess, but it seems like he rolls in whatever he wants. It's like, oh yeah, well, what kind of surgery you got for me today?
Yeah, hey, you got any Asgardians that need some brain poking? Because I can poke a brain.
Because you can't schedule any surgeries for Don Blake, so you don't know if he's going to be there the next day or not.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I mean, look, we did how many issues of Thor already, and like, this is the first time we see Don Blake.
I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you that, the medical establishment in the Marvel Universe may not be up to par with the ethics of the medical establishment. Hey, they gave Dr. Malice a freaking MD.
Oh,
an MD, not a PhD.
I just figured that was always evil medical school.
Well, there's lots of evil medical schools out there. Where do you think Dr. Doom got his doctorate from?
How about you?
Yeah.
The only person who got a real doctorate is Dr. Octopus.
Oh!
MIT, man, or Empire State, one or the other.
Reed Richards doesn't have a real degree?
Reed Richards? No, he's a superhero. All superheroes have real degrees.
Oh, okay, villains, okay,
If they use doctor, they've actually been to school. Otherwise, they call themselves professor, Phil.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, so the first cop out in this. So Thor gets sentenced to go search for Galactus.
Oh, that is the greatest. He's like, yeah, so it's like, yeah, your punishment for, the Warrior Madness, you must track down and defeat Galactus. And then meanwhile, everyone's back's towards him, and it's like, I was going to send you anyway, so just keep it under your hat, kid.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I was going to. Which sounds like, aren't you supposed to be like more powerful than me? Someone's going to face Galactus. Wouldn't it be smart for you to go?
Maybe he's not sure any of them will survive, so he's like, oh, better you than me, kid.
Better send the kid.
Again, as we find out years later, Odin's not the best father.
Not at all. But I love in this one, where Loki steals the walking stick from Don Blake. He says, aha, now I have it, and I won it in fair combat. You can't take it away from me. And Odin just shows up and says, yeah, okay. Just so you know, whoever holds the power of Thor has to go on the freaking trip to find Galactus.
Yes.
He's like, oh, man! Oh, man! That sucks! I didn't know that.
The music stopped. You're holding the stick.
Yeah, I mean, and for real, it's like, well, you know, Loki is a god of mischief, and this is very mischievous. So I guess that's what we're going to read next is Thor going off to meet Galactus and say, dude, that's this dude. You want to be a herald? And Thor's like, nah, not now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, someday. Ah! Gonna bring it all full loop eventually, Thor. You wait. But yeah, so Thor has to go find Galactus. We'll watch about that later. All right, Philip, you want to talk about any Avengers comics before the end of the show?
Sure. What you read? What you got? I'm sure you probably read Savage Avengers, right?
Of course I read Savage
I'm
Avengers.
sure.
I'm sure it's got Conan in it. I love Conan. Let me just find where I put it.
Hey.
It's also in Captain America, which was out last week, but, you know, I got so many books, Phil. I've only read like half of them. Avengers Forever, King Conan, Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, Iron Man, Captain Carter. Where's it? Dang it. You know, everything's going missing on me. Other Captain Carter, Savage Avengers. I found it. Big reveal.
Yes. The real identity of Deathlock. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we found this random body in a grave. Let's turn it into a robot for some reason. I can't imagine this will come back to bite us on the butt. What?
Because
Who is Deathlock, Philip?
Well, after the Avengers, yeah, wake up that personality in the body. Yes, we see. Yes, this Deathlock is was Miles Morales.
What a way to go, man. I am, as always, very confused by our Savage Avengers. You know, I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it without a doubt. But you know, it's one of the. It's a really good. It's nice to see modern heroes in the Hyborian Age struggling in their own way, but also finding their own way to grow. The little bit of necromancy by Daredevil is fun. And just in general, Conan fighting people is always fun.
Oh, yeah.
You know. But yeah, I mean, without a doubt, at the end of it, the big reveal, even as clearly, oh my gosh, the bad guy has somehow taken over, you know that Deathlock remembering he was once a spider. Which, honestly, that we don't get a Spider-Lock somewhere in the Spider-Verse. Now I'm mad that they're the first people to think of it. What did you think, Philip?
It's interesting. I was like, oh, wow, we're going there. So, I mean, yeah, I was coming back next month anyway. But yeah, I saw that. I was like, ooh.
Did you read our Avengers Forever #7 last week?
Oh, yes, with all the Steve Rogers. Yes.
I like this. I like them pushing like the army of Steve Rogers. And I like also in this, it seems like the idea that, no, all the Captain Americas are just finding all the reject Captain Americas because we're going to make a bunch of awesome Captain Americas in this and make an army of Captain Americas. Which is, it's just freaking crazy enough to work. They even get Weapon America to pop his claws again. But you know what I like best about this is when we see the captains in charge of it. Not only do you have Yeoman America, and apparently a classic captain, and a Cap Wolf, you also have Gorilla Captain America from the Monkeyverse, who is, in my opinion, probably one of the most overpowered Captain Americas in existence. He is also a savage monster who will kill you as soon as look at you, because that is the secret of the Monkeyverse, is that, yeah, we're monkeys, man. We make war. But you also have Lil Cap. Lil Cap made it through. I appreciate that. And I think that having them at the two sides of the panel shows the balance between the idealized sweet Cap and the hardcore, man, sometimes you just gotta punch a Nazi Cap. And punch their head clean off. So that's good. And then you got... I wonder if it's going to be a reveal that Deathlock is our Miles Morales Deathlock.
Ooh, maybe.
Got a lot of time travel in this. Got a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
Got him and... who's that guy? Who is that guy? You know, for some reason, I have no idea who that guy with the brown hair is.
I don't have the issue in front of me.
Because obviously that's Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider. Is that supposed to be Bucky Barnes, maybe? Or
where's my... hold on.
I don't know who anyone is anymore, Philip. There's too many books and they're confusing me.
Look. But yeah, if you want to throw something else out here, I'll look this up.
Okay, you look that up. Let's... here we go. Just speaking of Conan. King Conan, number 6. I think this is our last issue for it.
I think so, yeah.
As last you will recall, he was him and I forget his name now, but that set worshipping Stygian priest. He and Conan are fighting the goddess of the island, who is dying as well. Basically, a lot of things get cut up and things get bloody and explosive, which is cool.
That guy. You're talking about that guy with the brown hair and the beard in that at the end of that Avengers issue. That is the Ant-Man of an alternate universe, aka that universe is Tony Stark.
Oh, that's right. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Why does he have brown hair in that?
I don't know.
Black. Anyway. So, fun ended this after Conan blows up the island, and then basically the demon priest goes to find the power of the curse after the princess evaporates. Conan's kind of left by himself on the last atoll, drinking whatever wine he can find, but then he sees something glittering in the water. He digs it out. We cut back to Conan II throwing his father's sword into the sea, because that was the framing device at the start of this, you see. Sorry, I totally forgot the framing device. Framing device is, they say, we searched for Conan and we could not find him. All we could find was the hilt of his sword. We must assume he is surely dead. But, of course, we get him here. We see that he has escaped. He has built a raft out of, I'm guessing, sharks and dead people's teeth, because he's Conan and you do that sort of thing. Let me flash back to Conan as a young child who once climbed a tree and looked out on all of creation and wanted to see what more the world had. And Conan will once again do this in the future, because now he has crossed the ocean to a brand new world, that of the Americas. They weren't called that then, and they probably weren't even the Americas, because the structure of things, you know. So I also have a Captain Carter. I have Captain America from last week. I don't know if you want to save that for when we talk to the...
I mean, I don't care. I mean, if you want to throw out what your thoughts were on Captain America, I mean, I've been loving that. No, go ahead.
I like Captain America. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Let me say this. I like the Captain America journey. I do not like this weird cult group of the Machine.
Yeah.
And the money and the power and love. Love's a thing.
But honestly, we don't have the full story yet, so.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, oh God, so we need another clandestine super secret organization that's been running everything forever instead? I like it. I understand why they're doing it. Mm-hmm. But it's like, okay, one more for the kids in the back. I guess, at a certain point, I guess you can only punch Nazis so many times in the face. And then you got to ask, why are there even Nazis?
And two, you have to come up with more villains because you got 2 Captain Americas now too.
Well, fair enough. I imagine this is going to tie somehow back to what Hickman was doing with his S.H.I.E.L.D. series.
Maybe.
Which I think never actually wound up ending. In fact, it would not surprise me if the Machine is in fact Tesla.
Oh, maybe.
honestly, oh, gods. Now, okay. So the machine is Tesla. So mark my words. The machine is Tesla. The money is Newton. The power is somebody else. I don't know. Oh, power is maybe Galileo or Nostradamus. The love is the chick, because they need a chick. And then the revolution is... Actually, revolution could be Galileo. I don't know. Although, I guess it's implied the revolution is one of the Captain Americas. I don't know. I don't know who he's supposed to be, but it's interesting. My real question is, where's my protocide? They teased me a protocide at the start of this. I would love to see a protocide. Because I want to confirm my theory that protocide is actually super intelligent. He just isn't talking because he's a little overwhelmed by how smart he is. Because in the same way that a skinny guy getting a bunch of muscles suddenly starts overrunning things and smashing into stuff, a guy who was just regular intelligence who suddenly is super smart is going to be like, why is everything moving so slow?
We could get protocide. I believe I saw an article somewhere that these two writers are fans of like past arcs and like runs, so it's possible.
They teased him in that first run.
Yeah.
And what I will say is, like, to tease protocide is a big tease. Because it's like, aside from me, who remembers protocide,
I do.
Well, I know you do, Phil.
But yeah, I mean, that was like 20 years ago. Yeah, I know.
Anyway, speaking of superheroes, let's talk Captain Carter, the First Avenger.
Ooh.
So apparently it's vampires all the way down, Philip. Because when they take off the masks of the super soldiers that they're fighting, suddenly burst into flames. Because as it turns out, the person who's running the show, the evil person pulling the strings behind this things, is a vampire. And when Peggy says, "No, you don't understand, he's a vampire," he says, "Oh, she's cracked. Apparently being frozen for 60 years has taken its toll. 80 years has taken its toll. Because everyone knows there's no such thing as vampires." Philip, there's such a thing as vampires. And how can MI-13 in this day and age still not know about vampires? Really?
I mean, that always gets me, like, stories where, like, like somebody supernatural villain shows up in Spider-Man or something, and it's like, oh, what? Vampires? Or, werewolves? That's impossible. Meanwhile, it's like, yeah, you fought aliens before, but, it's like the supernaturals where you draw the line.
Oh, really? That's my thing. All right, Philip, I think that's the last of my Avengers books. You have anything you want to throw out there?
Oh, real quick, I guess I'll throw out this week's Captain Marvel 39.
Ooh, how's Cap doing? How's Captain Marvel?
Well, it's weird because like a couple issues ago, like she kind of like split off binaries like its own like almost newborn entity now. So it's been like safeguarding Earth because like last issue they're like, "Where's Carol at? Where's Carol at?" Well, this issue we find out where Carol's at because in a previous arc she fought the Enchantress's son from the future. But who came back and he was rolling in the future, and then he's like, "Oh, I'll go back and roll the past." And he has all this magic. So Carol's like, "I need to learn magic." No one would show her magic. No one would teach her magic except that Doctor Strange, Stephen Strange. And it's like there's gonna
not for nothing. She didn't go to Doctor Strange first to learn magic.
Nah, I'm trying to remember. She might have, but then he might have said no at first. I mean, she went to Scarlet Witch. She went to like everybody she could, but because everyone's like, no, there's going to be consequences. Because even if it's like temporary, they're like, no. So here we find, yes, there were consequences because yes, now she's on trial. Like these magic users have her on trial, including Brother Voodoo, Ileana Rasputin, Satana. Scarlet Witch is her defense counsel. But guess who's running the whole court thing, Charlie Esser?
Mephisto.
No! Agatha Harkness.
Almost as good.
And like, Carol's like, "Oh, well, did you put Enchantress's son on trial? Because, and Agatha's like, "Well, he didn't break any magical laws. You did, so."
Well, what magical law did she break?
I guess the way she got temporary magical powers is like a big no-no, so You know, something it went against the natural order of things. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, who's even the authority here? These are all human magicians. It's
I know.
Where's the Skrull sorcerers that are here to represent the order of magic?
Unless it's just an Earthling broke the laws, so they're getting judged by jury. She's getting judged by a jury of her peers, meaning other humans.
But then why is the judge also? I don't know. I think it's something smells fishy to me, Philip.
Yeah, now they have her on some planet. I think she has partial amnesia, and they're kind of testing her. So
that again.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it's fun. There's a movie coming out. We'll see how they're going to be resetting her there.
Yes.
Honestly, the idea of splitting her into binary kind of that's an interesting theory. We'll see how that plays out in the MCU.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, we don't need to talk Black Panther right now. So, anyway, let's call it a show, Philip.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to give them the Capes and Lunatics information, or would you like me to do it?
I can do it, but so next week, we'll be tying up Summer of 69 with the last of those 4 issues. What is it, 68, 69? So I think 168 through 171, I believe, so.
I'm really hoping Thor and Galactus have a beer.
Or a meal. He's always hungry.
Yeah, but honestly, that would be great. It's have some Asgardian mead. I'll give you a horn of plentiful. And it's oh wow, this is really good. I'm not even hungry anymore. Wow, I should just do this stuff instead.
Marvel Galactus Thanksgiving. Oh, come on.
He was once the life bringer, so
that's true. All right, so send your thoughts on that. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And make sure you follow Avengers Declassified on Facebook, on Twitter. Find links to all the various social medias for all the shows we do. Join the Avengers fan group on Facebook. The YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button so you never miss a second of Summer of 69 interviews, regular episodes, everything we do.
Smash it!
And, of course, subscribe to the Patreon. Get early access to creator interviews, including Mr. DG Chichester every month.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And superhero movie brackets, because Lilith loves pain. So the July episode will be Catwoman vs. Green Lantern, so subscribe now so you don't miss it and get all the previous episodes. And also, we get, if that's not enough, merch, cups, t-shirts, phone cases, and more. So, find everything at Linktree, linktr.ee/CapesandLunatics. All right, Charlie S. here. If people want to talk Adam Warlock or Galactus or whoever, where can I get a hold of you?
Well, you can always write to me that old-fashioned email way, where mothers and fathers once did, at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And of course, follow me on Reddit. What? Yes, now, for the first time ever, I'm on Reddit, where I will be writing things randomly when I feel like it. My handle is superconnectivity, all one word, without the blog, and hopefully you like it. And of course, on the Twitter, you can follow me as you do. Stargirl's coming back at Charlie Esser. CharlieSSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Miles. All right, dear friends. This adventure now ends. The heroes are triumphant as they ride off on elephants. And away we go once again. And next week, we'll be back here, my friends, for Avengers Declassified. This episode will then self-destruct in 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, one more week of Thor, then we get into Secret Wars, kids. Yeah, the original.
I hope Doom wins.
petty power thief.
He's an enfant terrible. You know, it's what you do.
Hi, I'm one of the High Priests of Khonshu Ray, and I have the sacred privilege of providing you, the loony listener, with a podcast honouring Marvel's very own Moon Knight. So join me and a host of others at Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, or support the show by becoming a Patreon member. Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. It's time to get your Khonshu on.